Hey there, Devin here with an update in regards to the Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield raid dens. Today we will be checking out the handful of possible Pokémon obtainable through means of the September promoted raid den, the differences and similarities of the raid den between Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield, and some additional helpful information, such as the chance of catching an Ultra Shiny Clefable and its relationship to other Pokémon. Let's get right into it. To begin, we must go over the basics. So, first things first, to gain the ability to encounter the promoted raid den, find and head to the mystery gift section of the various options of the menu, and simply click on the bar that states, Get the Wild Area News. And, after connecting to the internet, that is all! By doing this set of actions, you will have successfully updated the Pokémon Sword or Pokémon Shield Wild Area. This update also applies to the raid dens in the Isle of Armor downloadable content. Now, by throwing wishing pieces into random raid dens or running about the wild area searching for raids, you have the chance of finding a promoted raid den which appears in the form of red beams shooting out of the raid den. Since we have got through the basics, let us go over rarities, probabilities, and facts of the new promoted raid den in Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield. Before we get into it, however, please note that the promoted raid dens are the same in both Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield. For 1-star Pokémon raids, Clefable has a 20% chance of being found. Encountering Wigglytuff is a 20% chance. Third, Gloom has a 13% chance of being found. Fourth, Musharna has a 13% chance of being found. Next, Whimsicott has a 14% chance of being found. Lastly, you can encounter Lilligant with a 20% chance of being encountered. For 2-star rarity Pokemon, Clefable has a 20% chance of being found. Encountering Jigglypuff is a 20% chance. Third, Blossom has a 13% chance of being found. Fourth, Musharna has a 13% chance of being found. Fifth, Whimsicott has a 14% chance of being found. And lastly, Lilligant has a 20% chance of being found. For 3-star rarity Pokemon, Clefable has a 20% chance of being encountered. Secondly, Wigglytuff has a 20% chance of being found. Third, Blossom has a 13% chance of being encountered. Fourth, Musharna has a 13% chance of being found. Encountering Whimsicott is a 14% chance of being found. And taking up the last slot is Lilligant with a 20% chance. For 4-star Pokemon, Clefable has a 20% chance of being found. Secondly, Wigglytuff has a 20% chance of being found. Thirdly, Blossom has a 13% chance of being found. Musharna has a 13% chance of being encountered, and Whimsicott takes up the 5th slot with a 14% chance of being found. Lastly, Lilligant has a 20% chance of being found. For 5-star Pokemon, Clefable has a 22% chance of being found. Likewise, Wigglytuff has a 22% chance of being found. Third, Blossom has a 16% chance of being found, just like Musharna. Taking up the 5th slot is Shiny Clefable, which is guaranteed to be an Ultra Shiny, and has a 2% chance of being found. This is only found this weekend. Last but not least is Lilligant with a 22% chance of being found. That sums up the wild area news for September. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on the new Max Raid Den update. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Make sure to hit that notification bell for more Pokemon news. Goodbye! Thanks for watching.